We all know anime, right? I mean, it's one of the most popular entertainment mediums on the market. But what is anime exactly? Well, if we're going by the more literal definition, anime is the shortened version of the word animation, which in itself describes a form of media that is not live action, but instead is more, animation, whether it be hand drawn or digital or even stick figures, or really a lot of things can be considered a form of animation, which is kind of complicated but also simple if you think about it. But what is the anime that I'm talking about and we all know? Well, that form of animation is often considered to have started with the anime The Dull Sword in 1917, with the first anime film coming in 1960 called The Three Swords, and 1 year later, the first often thought to be TV show, Instant History in 1961. Now, I can't talk about early anime, however, without mentioning Astro Boy, which obviously we all know started in 1963, and that show basically turned anime down the road that would become the juggernaut that it is in modern day. Now, why am I talking about early anime? Well, it has some reasonings, and it's related to how anime is perceived today with modern tropes, that being the generic isekai regurgitated, factory made, boring trash. However, with my pretty much generic, well known disdain for modern anime, I still have a defense that may be seen as controversial. Modern anime and all of its generic, pretty cringy forms has its place, and that place is for the new fans that I dub as freshies. The ones who are just getting into anime who don't really know what's going on, the ones who you would never introduce a show like Serial Experiments Lane to, or even Evangelion. So that group is mainly where I see modern anime helping. Now, you're probably asking me, why would modern anime being so generic actually be a benefit for the freshies? Well, it kind of answers itself. Because it's so generic, it's often easy to watch without much thinking. You can easily skip episodes in most shows and not really miss much. And there's a boatload of it that you can just binge watch in a weekend and not really have much to worry about. Now, of course, we have to get into the distinction between what is considered modern anime and old anime. One of the few biggest distinctions, or rather a group of them, is in the animation itself. Whether it be the quality of that animation, the resolution it's in, the color palettes, or even just stylistically, can be a dead giveaway of if the show is from, per se, even 2005 to 2015. That 10-year gap, animation changed pretty drastically, and this is a rather more drastic option to think about, but the original first episode of Dragon Ball aired in 1986 versus the more recent variation of Dragon Ball being Dragon Ball Super that first started airing in 2017. Not only are they pretty different stylistically, they're also different in the color palettes, the resolution, even sometimes the frame rates used for the frames. But I digress. What am I really talking about here? Well, I'm talking about that group of anime fans. The ones who are quote unquote elitists, who think that the rise of isekai is the worst thing since World War II, or pick your poison atrocity or World War event in the world. That group of anime fans are the topic of this video. That group of anime fans would like to claim that they are quote unquote saving the anime industry by protecting it. But I have some doubts. If you were really wanting to save the industry, wouldn't you try to work in it? to try to pull some sway in the industry. Just my 2 cents. But obviously, instead, these people are sitting in their basements or their bedrooms all day, leaving angry rants on message boards and Twitter. But the underlying question is, where did this group start rearing their ugly faces? Well, it's sort of thought to be with a certain anime about a swordsman with the black coat and a black sword, and the girl with the very expensive figurines, and we all know who it is. It's Sword Art Online. I don't need to introduce it. At this point, it's so ingrained in anime pop culture that if you don't know Sword Art Online, you've probably been in cryo sleep or at home for the past 12 years or so. Everything from keychains to video games to plushies to books, even weird little cup stoppers for ramen. Those are actually pretty cool. Now, this group started to complain that Sword Art Online was poisoning the sacred nature of anime. Now, I would like to point out that Sword Art Online started in 2012 for the anime adaptation. Now, if you're an anime fan like me, you would know of certain animes that have been out that time. High School DxD, anyone? To Loveru, anyone? So the quote-unquote sacred nature was well poisoned at this point. And lest we forget the fan service in numerous shows like Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Dragon Ball, even shows like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Didn't steer clear of fan service, although those shows were a bit more tame. So, in essence, it's pretty easy to say that these were a bunch of elitists who were claiming that anime and the isekai variant was so popular just because it was isekai. But we all know they were just angry their quote unquote niche shows were not getting much attention. Now, you're probably wondering if you watch this point, what is the actual reasoning behind this around 7 to 10 minute video? Well, it's me wanting to get some stuff off my chest about the current anime scape and how the elite is claiming that isekai ruined anime. But, mate, anime ruined itself if you think it's ruined. Studios make things that people want and watch, and what people want isn't what you want. Just because, even though mechas are good, that genre is slowly fading away, doesn't mean that isekai is the cause of it. And, I just thought I would put a little message at the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Seriously, I make content that I like to make, and this is what I like to make. So with that, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like if you made to this point, and leave the comment. Sword Art Online didn't cause a downfall of anime in description if you made this by. Bye!